Hi everybody, this is Michelle with Creative Operation and Country Craft Creations, and what I wanted to do today was to share with you how to recreate my junk journal here using cardstock. So when I did this tutorial, and I will have links down below for that, I used flat shopping bags, and let me grab one to show you. I used two of these. One was a little bit smaller, and you'll see that in the tutorial, but this is what I use. These are just the flat shopping bags that you can get when you go to the store, right? And I keep them as long as they're not ripped up and everything, and I can use those in my junk journal, so that's what I did. So I did a whole tutorial showing how to make this journal out of shopping bags, and it includes pockets and flaps and all kinds of stuff depending on, of course, the size of your bags. And then I got to thinking, well, what if you don't have access to those bags, or you don't want to wait till you have access to those bags? And so I figured out the dimensions, and what I'm going to do is show you how to recreate this with some cardstock. So I thought that that's what I would do. So I'm going to put links down below for the tutorial for this and the walkthrough for it, and hopefully you've already seen that. But this is a great junk journal, and I just love it. This is using Petals and Letters by Country Craft Creations, and this is our new heritage line for hybrid scrapbooking and junk journaling, and I absolutely am in love with it. So it's really gorgeous. But when I did it, I'll show you how to do the pamphlets, or the pamphlet stitch for the signatures and all that. But using those bags, I created lots of pockets. So like there's a pocket here, there's a pocket here. We had a flap. Here's a pocket here. Then this is the signature here, but then the envelope, the bag, excuse me, also created this flap with a pocket not only here, here, and here, but also one here as well. And then when you turn the album, we had a pocket here. This is a whole separate signature, okay? So this album has 3 sections, which is really kind of cool. So anyways, that's what we're going to do today. I'm just going to show you how to quickly put a base together, and then you can go to town making this. And it's going to be really super simple. I'm using parchment artisan cardstock from Country Craft Creations. So this is going to be really simple, easy, and then I can go back and I can make this into something as well. So the first thing you'll need to do is grab some parchment that is 9 by 12. You will need 2 of these, and you're going to take both of them in your scoreboard, and on the 12 you'll score just down at 6. Okay, that is pretty standard. The album itself is going to be 6 by 9. So then that's done. Then you're going to need a piece that is 1 by 9, and we're going to score that at 1/2. This is going to be the hinge that holds everything together, okay? Then we'll add all the pockets and everything on once we get this part done. So we'll take the 2 9 by 12s and just simply fold them in half, okay? Just make sure you have your lines, or your edges lined up and everything matches, right? And I'll try and remember to stay in camera too. So when we put these together, you're going to have both of the open sides in the same direction, okay? But what we're going to do is we're going to add a hinge right here so that it creates kind of that W, okay? So that's what this guy is for. So really simply, we're just going to fold that in half. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and miter. Okay, and then we're just going to glue these 2 together. So what I'm going to do is open this up, okay, and we're going to just, put that together. That's all we're going to do. Pretty simple. So that'll create the big W shape that we need. All right, just lining that up to the edge. There you go. And then I'm going to take and glue this one. And I'm just going to flip this over so I can see what I'm doing, and just glue that right to the edge, okay? There we go. So those 2 are joined. Then when you fold this up, again, it will be an accordion, okay? This will be the front of your album, so this will be section 1, section 2, back of the album, and then when you open it up in the middle, that's where you're going to get that third section of junk journal, okay? So that part's done. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to add our pockets into that first section. We have the 2 big pockets. So we will need 2 pieces that are 7 by 6 1/4. Put the 7 at the top. We're going to score at 1/2 and at 6 1/2, and then we'll turn it and score at 1/2. And you're going to do that to both pieces. So again, you will need 2 of these that are 7 by 6 1/4. Then we're going to just miter everything, just like we would do for an album. So I'm just going to miter those top tabs, and I'm going to go sharply through the other ones. And I hope you guys are enjoying this new collection because I love it. I think it's really awesome. And I'm having fun using my charms and my lace and all the different little things. I think it's so much fun. So much fun. Be able to go in your stash and just get stuff. Use those coffee dyed papers. Love that. Okay, so I'm just folding and burnishing my pockets. These are going to be those ginormous pockets that go to the inside of that first section. Okay, so this is the first section. These will glue here and here. So because I might not put pattern paper all the way into the pockets, I'm going to go ahead and do like I do in my albums with the tape trick. So I'm just going to glue the bottom of the pocket first, and I'm going to line this up right to the edge. Okay. And then I'm going to put a piece of tape down, and then that way whatever I put in the pockets won't get hung up. So I'm just going to do that real fast. There we go. Then I'll go ahead and glue these sides up. And I'm going to repeat with that second pocket. Okay. Okay, so like I said, I'm going to repeat with the second pocket, so I'll go ahead and do that, and then I'll be back. I have my pockets in, so this is where our first signature is going to be sewn right through the middle. So then we're going to turn and go into this section right here, and we're going to work on this. So let's grab a few things here. Okay, so we're going to get a couple pieces that are going to go on this second section on the left-hand side here. So the first piece is going to be 5 1/2 by 10. And the second piece will be 5 1/2 by 5 3/4. On the 5 1/2 by 10, we'll start by putting it with the 5 1/2 at the top, and we'll score at 1/2. And then we're going to turn it and score at 1/2 and at 9 1/2. Okay. The 5 1/2 by 5 3/4, we're going to put with the 5 1/2 at the top, and we're going to score at 1/2. Okay. So then we'll go ahead and do this. This is going to be a big pocket. So again, we're going to just miter all of those corners, okay? This is going to be that little page flap that was created with those bags. So I'm basically just recreating everything with cardstock. So it'll be the same exact thing, same exact project, just with cardstock, okay? And if you want to get really authentic and use paper bags, you could cut open grocery sacks and cut all your pieces out of grocery sacks. If you really wanted to use bags, but you didn't have those kind of flat ones that I used, that's something that you could do too. All right, so then I'm going to take these pieces, and we're going to go in that second section. I'm just going to open it up, make it a little bit easier. And again, I'm going to glue kind of the bottom part of the pocket first, because I won't be putting pattern paper all the way under here when I reuse this, because then I won't be wasting it, right? The pocket is going to show it. Now I am going to kind of make sure I'm kind of right at the edge, which I'm not. Let's try that one more time. Art glitter glue. There we go. Okay. Art glitter glue does give you a second to change your mind if you need to, which is good. All right, and then I'm going to put the tape. All right. And this is just plain old clear tape. All right, put that down, and then we'll go ahead and glue these sides up. Okay, like so. Okay, so there's that long pocket, all right, and then the flap will just go down at the bottom like so, and then that will just open up like that. So we're just going to go ahead and glue that right on top of the pocket. Easy peasy. The way these bags folded up, it got pretty, we got a lot of real estate out of those bags. It's kind of amazing how it goes, and I hope that the tutorial made sense, because I was kind of doing a lot of it. I had an idea of what I wanted to do, but some of it was done on the fly, so I was trying to figure it out. So it worked out pretty good. Okay, so for the right side of this, okay, so this part here, we are going to need a couple things. We will need, let's see, this and this and this, and this. Okay, so we need 4 pieces all together. So let's just go through all of the pieces. So the first thing we're going to need is a 4.5 by 9. This is going to be a flap, and on the 4.5, we're going to score at 1/2. Okay, and that's it. Then we'll need a piece that's 3.5 by 10. On the 3.5 side, we're going to score at 1/2, and then we're going to turn it, and we're going to score at 1/2 and at 9.5. And again, this is the 3.5 by 10. This is going to be a pocket that goes on top of this flap. This is going to be a big pocket. It measures 7 by 3.5. On the 7-inch side, we're going to score at 1/2 and at 6.5. Then we'll turn it, and on the 3.5, we'll score at 1/2. That's going to be a pocket. We're going to have that little tiny side pocket. It's 3.5 by 4. On the 3.5, we will score at 1/2, and then we're going to turn it to the 4, score it at 1/2, and 3.5. Okay. All right. So this will be a side pocket, and then we have another little pocket that's going to be 5 by 3.5. Okay. On the 5, we'll go ahead and score at 1/2 and at 4.5, and then we're going to turn it on the 3.5, score at 1/2. Okay, let's build. All right, so first thing we're going to do is grab the piece that's the flap. This is 4.5 by 9. Let's go ahead and miter that 1/2-inch piece, and then we will fold and burnish like so. Okay, this is going to glue right here, and we have it upside down now, and that's what we want. I mean, as far as the writing goes, it's upside down. We're just going to glue it to the side there. So we'll start there. Okay, I'm going to turn it so I can see it a little bit on the side here, see it a little better, and just lay that down and line it up on the right-hand side. Okay, just put it flush. That's going to be that page flap that we had with the pocket, with the long pocket here, that was created by, let me show you, it was created by the bag just being folded over because it was long. The bag was long, and then that created, this was the opening of the bag, you can see that, for a long pocket. Okay, so we created the flap. Now let's grab the long pocket, and that'll go right on top of there. So again, we're going to miter the corners. Okay, okay, fold and burnish. And then I know I've said this in other tutorials, I'll say it again because it's worth repeating. When you do your scores, you want to make sure, number one, you're scoring in the proper direction, but number two, when you fold them over, do it gently with your fingers and then start in the middle and work your way out. You tend to get a better line if you do that rather than trying to do a really long score from one end to the other. So I always try to start from the middle when I'm burnishing out. It seems to make a straighter line. Okay, so I'm just going to glue that right on top of that flap. And again, I only glued that bottom one because we're going to, again, add some tape. Okay. I go through a lot of Scotch tape these days. Okay, here we go. All right, then we'll glue up those sides, and then that will create the flap with the pocket on the top of the flap, okay? All right. I don't know if you can hear it, but Indiana Jones is going on in my living room. And I have watched that show like 100 times. It never gets old. Okay, so there is that flap, okay? Then we're going to create the pockets on the inside. So there's 3 pockets. So the first one is going to be the big one that's going to go here on the actual 6-inch page. So we're going to, again, I get on camera so you can see I'm mitering. And we're going to fold and burnish and then just glue that down, okay? Okay, so that'll glue here. Okay, then we're going to take the 5 by 3.5, same thing, that's going to go on the back of the flap. Okay. Okay, so that guy's going to go here. And then we've got this little one, the 3.5 by 4. So again, we're mitering all the corners. Okay, fold and burnish. Okay, now this one will go on top of the pocket so that it opens up right here. Okay, so that's just going to lay right on top of there. So I'm going to glue all these things down just exactly as I've been gluing them down in these spots, and then I'll come back and we'll move on to the next step because I think you got the idea. So I'm going to glue the bottom parts of the pockets first, put the tape on, and then glue the sides up. Okay, so let's do that and then I'll be right back. Those pockets are in, so here's that flap with the long pocket here. Then you have the small pocket here, should use this pocket here, and then this pocket here, and then this is where your signature will be sewn in, okay? So that'll fold up like that. So far, here's the front cover. Then you have your 2 big pockets. Signature will be sewn here. Then you turn it. You have this flap. You have a big pocket here. Then you have this flap with a pocket here, and then these pockets in here, okay? So when we close this up, now this is the back of the book. And then we have the middle section to do, and that one is going to be really simple. We just need 1 pocket. So this is 7 by 3.5. So again, we're going to get our scoreboard with the 7 at the top. We're going to score at half and at 6.5. And here's another tip too. So if I want to make sure that the continuity of my paper is really good, I'm going to score it on both ends instead of doing it half on 3 sides. And the reason why is because if I cut this a little bit too wide, then doing it on half each side is actually going to make my pocket wider than I really want it to be. So if I just happen to like cut it a hair off, it's better to do it this way because then you get your full pocket width that you want. And it doesn't get like too wide. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. So I know for sure between half and 6.5, that's going to be 6 inches. Okay. So anyway, on the 7, score at half, 6.5, and then turn it and score it half. Okay. All right. So then we will go ahead and do the same thing, miter, and glue this down on the left side of this middle section because there wasn't anything going on with this right section because of the nature of the bags that I used. Now you can add, of course, anything you want to these pages. You could go to town adding different things, but I'm just showing you how it kind of worked out with the bags that I used. And it was fun to figure out, and really I loved it. I thought it was great. All right, so this goes on the bottom here. Okay, and remember we are going to have a signature sewn in the middle. Okay, so this will be our line for sewing. All right, so just glue up the sides here, and then you guys, we are done with the recreation. So then you can go to town adding your pattern papers, using whatever you want to do your signatures. Why is that off? That looks weird. Okay, there we go. Fixed it. Didn't fix that one. Gosh. Okay, there we go. Okay, that's it. All right, so that's the middle section of our album. Okay, so now we have our W shape, right? We have our cover, 2 giant pockets on the front. We open it up, we have our flap, we have a deep pocket here, we have the flap here with the pocket here. We open it up, we have a pocket here, here, and then one that goes off to the side here. Okay, then we close it. This becomes the back of the album or junk journal, and then we open it up, and then we have the pocket here, and our signatures again will be sewn in 3 different places. So we have, if I can keep my flaps closed here, we have 2 signatures that will go here, okay, and then 1 signature that will go there. So in all of the points of our little W or M or whatever you want to call it. So that is that. That's how you recreate the paper bag journal that I made for Country Craft Creations using Petals and Letters, which is our new line that is absolutely stunning and gorgeous. So check down below for the full tutorial on how I made this album and all of the walkthrough, how I did paper clips. I got a little tutorial about that. I talked through everything with this book. So see that video. Go check out the links to get Petals and Letters. You're not going to want to miss this. It's absolutely gorgeous. There are, let me show you here. Let me show you. So there are 3 different hybrid junk journal collection pieces in the Petals and Letters category. So you have this full set of papers that includes cut aparts like you wouldn't believe. Like you have 2 of each of these papers to cut apart and use in your junk journals. So they're just absolutely gorgeous, and the papers are beautiful. Then you have the second pack is the companion junk journal kit, which has calendars and journaling pages that are in the tan hues and the gray hues, and they're just gorgeous. And then there's a junk journal companion pack that has a bunch more cut aparts that you can use, including recipe cards, covers, folios, you name it, you can use it. So anyway, I just really wanted to share this with you. Go check it out. You're gonna love it. And thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. Appreciate all your support, and I will see you again soon. Okay, thank you so much. Stay crafty, and we'll talk later. Bye-bye.